Welcome to the show, everybody. Happy to be in studio. Happy to have you watching. This is the TJ Carpenter Show. I'm TJ Carpenter. As always, you can show your support for this show by going to mybookie.lv, entering promo code PHANTOM, F-A-N-T-O-M, 50% bonus cash on your first deposit by going to mybookie.lv and entering that promo code. We're going to talk about Tyrone Crawford today, and new video has surfaced of Tyrone Crawford performing very well, I think, in his off-season workout regimen. He is just throwing tiny human beings who are not tiny to us, but tiny to him, just wantonly around the room. So first of all, I would like to say I was totally wrong. I said that this would not be a problem for Tyrone Crawford. I was fucking stupid. That absolutely this is going to be a problem for Tyrone Crawford and by extension the Cowboys. So we're going to talk about that. And then of course March Madness is still going on. I know we have some fans from Iowa who I'm sure want to weigh in on Iowa sucking. What do we got here? What do we got here so far? Carrie's in the house. Chris in the house. Danny Easley's in the house. Carrie says, what up? Chris is saying, what up, Danny? TJ motherfucking Carpenter. What up? What up, Danny? Ugh. Michael says, what's up all there? Where's Ari hiding? He is in Houston today, I believe. He is still in the state of Texas. He is in a Lone Star state of mind, but not doing a show today, obviously. So you get me exclusively instead. And we're going to talk about this Tyrone Crawford stuff. I would like to know how many people have seen the video. If you have seen the video, what do you think of the video? And do you agree or not that I mean, here's the thing. Neil Brennan does this bit. And he says, you know, we probably hold these NFL players to too high of a standard. We teach them to be machines of death and violence all the time. We're like, kill, kill, kill. Destroy the player in front of you. Assert your dominance. Be as physically dominating as possible. And so we train them every single day. Go to practice, do football. Go to the game, do football. But when Ray Rice does football in an elevator, oh, we did football at the wrong time. It's just like, his point is, you know, these are really violent people. And they do very violent things. And they've been trained to say, oh, the best way to solve this problem is with my physical strength. And that's exactly what Tyrone Crawford was doing at a Coyote Ugly bar. We're going to play the video for you. If you haven't seen it yet, we're going to play it here in just a second. Let's get through some comments first. Rick says, we're winning, TJ. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was winning. Who picked Iowa? Who picked Iowa to win? Me. Bunch of tiny coaches' kids, tiny white kids who sit at the end of the bench. First of all, I resemble that remark, so I'm allowed to say that. Let's see here. Chris, one of the security guards was 6'8". Crawford beat him the fuck down. Right, yeah, okay, all right. So clearly Chris has seen the video. Michael says, those damn Eagles trying to mess with Joe T's ability to enjoy a turkey pizza and watch his boys on the holiday. Rick says, Hawkeyes are up 8 with 1:07 left. Cody, yeah, with some seasoning on them. Joe says, big deal. He had a fight. What's wrong with that? We all had fights. I'm just saying, I don't think that Tyrone Crawford did anything. Wrong. I may be wrong. I don't know if wrong's the right or wrong word to use. He did something violent in a setting in which usually violence is not permitted. So that's why they have bouncers there. The problem here is that, you know, Tyrone Crawford kind of does his own thing. You know, this is, if you've seen Game of Thrones, you know how the Hound and the Hound in Game of Thrones, he kind of just goes around and does whatever the fuck he wants. You know, he is his own person. Nobody can really beat him. Nobody can beat him up. So he's just bigger than everybody, and he just walks around doing whatever he wants to. And that's kind of the way Tyrone Crawford is. Even if there is security there, it's not like security can really do anything about it if Tyrone Crawford wants to beat somebody up. So that's kind of what happened here. Chris is saying the chicks in the movie Coyote Ugly are hot. Warren, Wofford will beat Kentucky Saturday. I hope you're right, Warren. Rick says, did he get suspended yet? He hasn't gotten suspended. Yeah, I don't think we'll see suspension news for a while. They've got to do an investigation. They got to figure out what was going on. But the video is not good. Cody says, at least he fought and didn't pull out a gun or jump someone man to man. Yeah. Like I said, Cody, like I've seen so many bar brawls in my day. I mean, I went to college at the University of Arkansas, and there is a long street called Dixon Street in Fayetteville, and it's just full of bars that look exactly like that bar. And football players will fight. Big dudes in general will fight. Frat boys will fight. People who don't like frat boys will fight frat boys. Women will fight each other. That's just the environment that is. And I think to a lot of America, they don't really understand what that is. They don't understand that that's just a thing that happens at bars. There's always one bar in Fayetteville. It was called the Z330 bar. I don't know what the bar in Austin is. I don't know what they call it. Is it West Side is where all the bars are? Is it West Side? What's the downtown like bar scene area called in Dallas? I can't remember what it's called, but I've been there before. I think they call it like the West Side. And look, every town's got that bar. Every single some towns have multiple versions of that bar. Dallas is one of those places I'm sure has hundreds of bars that are like that, where it's like every time you go there, someone's getting into a fight because that's just the way that bar is. You got a bunch of dudes in Ed Hardy t-shirts trying to fuck each other up and not back down because they want to fuck at the end of the night. And the best way to do that is to show that you're a big, strong, powerful man. At least that's the way that men's brains work. For any of the ladies watching out there, I hate to break it to you, but that's how all of our brains work. Whether you're a giant like Tyrone Crawford or a pussy. It doesn't matter. That's how your brain works if you're a guy. Kerry says he beat down the bar by himself. I know. We're going to show the video here in just a second. Danny says, I live Dixon Street, Woo Pig Suey. I love Dixon Street. If you want to know if you know what I'm saying. Yeah, I mean, Dixon Street's great. Michael, I don't, LOL. Danny, West End. Yeah, the West End. My bad. West End. Danny, and Deep Ellum. I don't know what that means. Rick says 51.1 seconds left. Cincinnati down by 6 with the ball. Yeah, West End. Gee, thank you very much. Daniel, bars in Dallas? Of course not. They want to what, TJ? They want to fuck at the end of the night, Daniel. That's every man's, at that age. How old's Tyrone Crawford? He's not that old. I think I'm older than Tyrone Crawford. By the way, this picture I have of him up on the screen right now, this picture of him makes him look uncomfortably like Aaron Hernandez. And I thought maybe I shouldn't mention that, but we're all friends here. I can say things like this and not be judged for them. He looks a little bit like Aaron Hernandez, right? In that picture, just a little bit. I'm not saying he's Aaron Hernandez. I'm just saying he looks like Aaron Hernandez in this picture. Just a little too close for comfort for my mind. Okay, so we're going to play the video here. This is Tyrone Crawford really just fucking people up. I don't know any other way to describe it. So here we go. Let's take a look here at Tyrone Crawford. This is the first video that came out. This is the first video, and this is the one where I said, hey, there's no audio. We don't know what they were arguing about. This doesn't look that bad. He could be trying to break fights up. But anyways, here's this video. Oh, it's tiny. Sorry about that, guys. Let's just blow that up. There we go. Okay, so this is like a sky cam. I believe this was outside. So as you can see there, Tyrone Crawford, huge guy, and he's just barreling through people. They can't control him. They have no idea how to corral this dude. He's just enormous. And there's nothing you can do with that guy. Once he decides he wants to fuck you up, it's just, there's nothing you can do. So this is the police officer footage where he shoves a police officer. You can see in the footage that he shoves a police officer. So this is the first video that came out. This is the second video, and this is the one that is, I think, going to be a problem for Tyrone Crawford because it very clearly shows Tyrone Crawford. I'll go ahead and mute this, but I'll just blow this up so everybody can see it. This is a TMZ video, and as you can see in there, I mean, he's just fucking people up. You know, I I don't really know what else to say other than, like, clearly he's too big of a human being for even the very large bouncers to deal with. Which I would say, look, I mean, employing a couple of hand fighting techniques in there. I think he started from a 5 technique, rushing to the outside of the guy. I mean, it's really impressive. I think people would be excited about this. I mean, if you're a Cowboys fan, you're watching these off-season workout regimens, I mean, this is pretty good. This is, you know, look, he's showing you that there is no off-season, right? He is out there just dominating the guy in front of him, which is exactly what you want from a defensive end defensive tackle. Danny says, it's a place to party in Dallas, West End, Deep Ellum, Lower Greenville, Addison. Cody, I got my ass kicked in the stockyards once for asking some Asian girl for a happy ending massage. I was drunk and I know it wasn't right, but all them dudes didn't have to jump me. Sure. Okay, Cody, I'm with you there. Let's see. Chris says Aaron Hernandez would fucking kill you for that comment, TJ. Let's see what else we got here. Michael says, should have had Kraft to have your back. Danny, I heard the argument was about the Kardashians. Chris, TMZ gets all the videos. They do. I think they probably have some of the best reporting out there. To be honest with you, like I trust anything that TMZ comes out with. I'm not like, it's TMZ, that's bullshit. You would be more likely to see bullshit reporting from like your local newspaper, if it still exists, than TMZ. TMZ is pretty much always right. And that's the screwed up thing about today's media, is that TMZ is, at least for our stuff, like the stuff that we cover, athletes, sports, off the field news, TMZ nails it on sports. Cameron says he's training. Now that's a good narrative. By the way, check out Cameron's videos. Cameron does some great esports videos for us. Check out Cam's stuff. Danny says, imagine him and Greg Hardy going at it. Jesus. Let's put him in the octagon. That might be the next step for Tyrone Crawford, for being totally honest here. Moving into the octagon. Warren says the bouncers look like 5th graders. Yeah, they do. They look like tiny people next to Tyrone Crawford. Chris, one dude in the video looks like a Viking. Joe, I think he thought it was 3rd and 5 trying to sack the QB. Right. That it looks like he's employing quite a few pass rushing techniques. Do we want to play this video again? We'll play it again. Here we go. This is second time around. TMZ Sports has this video, and it's just like they're just going crazy, going nuts, and there is like nothing that white guy can do. And he's a bouncer, and he's probably a big dude, but Tyrone Crawford's like enormous. And they finally get him like close to the door, and they get him outside, and then the cops come in, and he's just fucking going at it, man. So yeah, dude, like he's just pushing dudes over. It's astonishing to me after seeing this footage that he didn't get arrested. It's astonishing to me. How did he not get arrested? Look at that. He's just flinging dudes around. They can't do any. Clearly. Ooh, yeah, see, that's the one right there. That's the swing and the fist punch. Like, you can definitely get arrested for that. The fact that he didn't get arrested for it is astonishing to me. And it's also the reason why I think this could definitely end up being a problem for him, is because if the NFL sees that video and you see him taking a swing at somebody who is clearly smaller than he is, that's going to get you in trouble with the league. And yeah, I think Roger Goodell's going to watch this video and he's going to get a suspension. And that's just kind of the reality of where the league is, and that's kind of the reality of what exactly... Terry says maybe he is Aaron Hernandez. Did you ever see them together? Fair point, Terry. Cody, I think we should all meet up at the Target and form our own fight club. At the Target. Yes, at Target. Because whenever I think of fight clubs, I always think, knickknacks. Marcus, 30 for 30, TMZ, the career-ending agency. Cameron says, thanks for the plug. You're welcome. Michael says, Hernandez only likes the shotgun formation. Oh, that's savage, Michael. Danny says, I used to be pro at Call of Duty. Okay. I used to be a pro at Call of Duty. Now I just stream Apex Legends to my followers. Pays pretty good. That's good to know. That's good to know. Rick, 77-72, Iowa has the ball with 18.7 seconds left. Danny says, we needed that fight against the Rams. Shaking my head. If they had fought that hard against the Rams, they may have won the game. Yeah. It's fair criticism there, Danny. Chris, Aaron Hernandez's guilty verdict was reinstated the other day after it was vacated when he died. Right. That's good. I mean, it doesn't really matter from a practical perspective, but hopefully the families of those victims that he murdered feel some sort of resolution, some sort of justice out of that. Daniel, Pack didn't get in trouble. Joe, I thought I saw Jason Garrett clapping in the background. Hey, you know what? When Crawford gives that kind of effort, you have to be impressed. That's all I'm saying. Like, look, off-season workout, he never stops working, you know? He never stops working. You got to respect a guy who never takes a day off. You got to respect somebody who is always trying to improve himself. I mean, you saw some really state-of-the-art techniques in there. I mean, if he's throwing around a left tackle or a guard like that on the field, we're championing it. We're like, yeah, this is great. Tyrone Crawford in shape. This is going to be a career year for Tyrone Crawford, right? But it happened at a bar. So, unfortunately, right moves, wrong context. Let's see here. Does this give Tank more leverage? It does, Cameron. Cam, Tank has all the leverage right now. I know that people want to say that it's the other way around, but he can always just not play. And he can always sign his franchise tender and then have surgery after signing his franchise tender. And that's where he really has the leverage, because once he signs his franchise tender, he can then use the excuse of, well, I had to have surgery, so I can't play, as the reason why he's not playing and still getting paid. So kudos to him for using that kind of rationale. Let's see. Danny says, I'm pretty sure he preferred the pistol over shotgun formation. Well done, Danny. Chris, the Cowboys get to play Fatterson again in Hawaii this preseason. Yeah, look, it doesn't really matter. Preseasons are meaningless. And he may not even play in that game. Who knows? Michael says, Tank paid all these guys to lose their shit. It's a conspiracy. Well, yeah, like at this point, the Cowboys have no defensive line. None. Tyrone Crawford's out. David Irving retired to smoke pot. DeMarcus Lawrence is refusing to play on the franchise tag, which he could then sign and then still not play because he has to have surgery. So they're just paying a guy to not play for a whole season, which is the worst case scenario for the Cowboys. That they're on the hook for a franchise tagging a player who can't play but still get paid. Like, there's clearly, like, Tank Lawrence has all the leverage in this situation at this point. Cody, the whole defensive fucking line is suspended now. Crazy shit. I know, it's insane. Danny says, if I only weighed 140 more pounds, I could play defensive end. How tall are you, Danny? Are you 6'4"? Are you 6'5"? Michael, Dak and Zeke starting defensive ends this season. Rick says, 79-72. You were right, TJ. Thank you for picking my team. You're welcome. I think I also picked Iowa State to beat Ohio State, so waiting for that as well. Cameron says, Taco and DA will be Pro Bowlers. Don't call me a homer. I won't call you a homer, although I will call you ridiculous because Taco is terrible. Danny says, but at 6 foot, 180, I don't believe I got a chance. Danny, you and I are about the same size. You're a little taller than me. I'm 5'11", 170. So just a smidge bigger than me. Chris says, did you fill out a bracket, TJ? I did not, Chris. I didn't fill out a bracket. I'm predicting who wins in these games. I think so far I'm undefeated, actually. In my March Madness preview, I don't think I picked a single team wrong yet. I think I've gotten every single one of them correct so far. Okay, so let's see. Taco is ass cheeks. Yeah, I tend to agree with that. He is ass cheeks. Well, I don't know where the Cowboys are going to go from here. I think it's a really big question. I think it's a really big concern that they have no real plans now other than the draft. They have no means of replacing any of these problems. That's why you can't sign 4 franchise player contracts, because they're trying to have everything, and you can't have everything. You can't eat your cake and have it too. It's not how it works. You can't look at what they want to do. They want to sign Dak Prescott, who wants too much money. They want to franchise tag DeMarcus Lawrence so they don't have to pay him a long-term contract, which we all know how that's going. They want to pay Ezekiel Elliott to be their franchise running back, but they don't want to pay him what he wants. They want to pay him like he's a cheap piece of meat that is going to run out of miles sooner rather than later, and I'm guessing that he takes that personally. And then they also want to sign Amari Cooper, who we only have a half of season worth of data to base off, whether or not he's going to be a successful long-term option at number 1 wide receiver for them. And he's also going to want a lot of money. He's going to want tons of cash. So 4 franchise contracts is unreasonable to expect from this team. And I don't know why people keep trying to push that they can get all 4 of them. And also deal with unforeseen occurrences like they've had with all of their defensive line. And then also sign high-profile free agents every single offseason. It's unreasonable to expect that from the Cowboys. It's unreasonable because it's impossible. It's the most ridiculous proposal. It's like any law, Republican or Democrat, I don't care. It's like any sort of proposed bill that's supposed to solve a problem that's just ridiculous. It's just unreasonable. Like the Green New Deal. I will say that is one of the most ridiculous pieces of proposed legislation I've ever seen. Just because it won't work. It's a pipe dream. And like the idea that the Cowboys are not a pipe dreaming themselves is silly. That they're reasonable, that they have figured out a way to be the first team in NFL history that has no problems, that can sign all the high-profile free agents, and then also sign 4 franchise contract players. That's ridiculous. You can't do all that. You can't. It's impossible. You don't have enough money to do it. Danny says, my bracket has 2 losses. Danny, Murray State and Minnesota. Well, Murray State, did you know Ja was that good? You should have known Ja was that good. I didn't know Ja was a person. He's really damn good, though. That's one of the best performances, triple-double performance from Ja. What's his last name? It's Ja something. I can't remember what his last name is. But anyways, Ja was amazing for Murray State. He just came out of nowhere, just dominated. Really impressive. Do they got to get Quinn now? Yes, they need Robert Quinn, but in signing Robert Quinn, you are preventing yourself from signing anyone else. Because abolish the salary cap is what Cam says. Crystal, hey there. Cody, for a 4th rounder, I'd say yes, as long as the Dolphins pay some of his cap hit. Are they going to do that? I don't think that they are. I think the point of trying to trade Robert Quinn is to not have to pay his salary. That's the reason why he's on the trading block. Chris says, at least Crawford's eyes aren't crooked in that picture. That's good. Carrie, thank God Dak wants too much. That may be our only way to rid of him sooner than later. Chris, Cowboys aren't the Yankees. Sign everyone and pay luxury tax. Yeah, they can't do that. It's impossible. Yeah, I didn't expect it like that, though. Ja Rule. Yeah, Ja Rule. What's his last name? I can't remember his last name. It's not Lamont. Is it Lamont? Ja Lamont? That sounds kind of close. Let me just Google Ja. Ja Morant. Ja Morant. Ja Morant was spectacular yesterday for Murray State. Danny says, what I'm reading now is Miami wants a 4th and will pay half salary. We'll see. That's a negotiation ploy, and it's good that there are possible. I think that if that's if that's on the table and it hasn't been accepted yet, that's what the Cowboys are willing to pay for Robert Quinn. We'll give you a 4th rounder and we'll pay half his salary, but you have to pay the other half. And I'm guessing the Dolphins are coming back and saying, no, you pay all of his salary and you pay a 4th round pick and then you get Robert Quinn. And that's kind of why it hasn't happened yet. Because if that were the deal, Danny, then it would already have happened. We would already have the terms of his contract. We would already have the reporting on all that. His agent would have gotten that out the second that he had been traded. But that's not what's happened, which leads me to believe that Miami wants more than that, and Dallas isn't willing to pay that because they can't, because they're trying to have everything, and they can't do that. It's impossible. Chris says, Ja, great dunker. Daniel, is that a Pegasus versus a bear on your shirt, TJ? It's not. It is a bear. That's the bear. There's a big blue bear statue in downtown Denver that's kind of like looking into the Performing Arts Center downtown, which is a really cool building. And it's a really cool statue, but it's kind of an iconic statue. This is the other iconic statue in Denver, which is a blue devil horse. It's got glowing red eyes, and it killed the person who it fell over and killed the person who sculpted it. But it's out in front of the DIA at Denver International Airport. It's out in front of the airport. And so whenever you fly into Denver, the first thing that you see when you start driving out of the parking lot is this big blue devil horse statue. And so it's a weird statue. It's got a very grotesque asshole. And I'm being totally serious about this. Let me see if I can pull this picture up for you guys. Devil horse Denver butthole. I am totally serious about this. It is a really grotesque. I don't even know if I want to put this image up there. I feel like I have to. It's a public work of art, right? So this is in the public. You can see this anywhere because children can look at it. Anybody can look at it. Children can look at this. So if you want a shirt, it's not this perspective of this statue. It's the front. This is the profile view of the statue. Now, the not so good. All right, so let's see here. There you go. Yep. That's the statue in Denver, right outside the airport, that everybody loves. Everybody loves the statue in Denver. It's a big, giant blue devil horse with a very veiny ball sack and butthole. That is the veiniest, most descriptive taint I've ever seen in my life. So there you go. That's the picture that I wanted everybody to see. I'm just going to leave it up there for a while, see how that goes. Maybe Facebook will take me down. I don't know. Facebook might take down the stream because I'm showing you statue pornography. Michael says, I thought it was a unicorn versus King Kong. That would be good. No, these are both statues in Denver, and they're both blue. Danny says, I truly think Dallas should let Zeke walk, trade after his 5th-year option. I'm fine with that. I mean, that's a solve to the problem, but at least it's a solution. A lot of people may disagree with that solution, but it's still a solution. Chris says, Bears beats Battlestar Galactica. Rick, TJ is a Meeseeks. Chris, horse assholes Aggies love this broadcast. Are you TJ C137 or a different version, TJ? I am, C137, TJ C137. I think I'm an A, though. I think I'm a Generation A, TJ. I hope I am. If there's a better version of me out there in the cosmos somewhere, I would like to know about it. Michael says, how lovely. The horse looks like it's taking a shit. I mean, sure it does. Danny says, don't hate me, but literally every top running back after year 4 start to decline production-wise and become more susceptible to injury. Except for Jamal Charles, who had an injury. It tore his ACL and came back and had incredible seasons. Also, Adrian Peterson didn't drop off. Emmitt Smith didn't drop off. Let's see, who else? Who else is a really good example of a running back who didn't drop off? I mean, yeah, like I understand the concern that you have, and it's a legitimate concern. But when we're talking about value of a player, I think you have to take that on a case-by-case basis, not on a trend of the position basis. Because I think if you do it on a trend of the position basis, you may end up limiting yourself for the sake of trying to negotiate your way into a cheaper salary, when in reality you may just be pissing that player off, and then he gets a better contract somewhere else, goes to a different team, and then beats you because you don't have a good enough running back. Nathaniel, hey TJ. Carrie says LT. Danny says Peterson did too. You mean Peterson dropped off after year 4? Peterson, as far as I know, Peterson didn't he have a 2,000-yard season after tearing his ACL? Didn't he tear his ACL, recovered in 4 months, came back, had an incredible year after that. I think he was one of the, after 4 had ACL year, then a 2,000-yard season after that, never hit 1,000. But I think a lot of that's usage related. Chris says, that's animal solicitation, TJ, you putting that picture up. Nathaniel, that applies to the average back. Zeke is exceptional player. I think, like, Zeke might be the exception to the rule. We don't know. That's all I'm saying, is that I wouldn't base your decision on Zeke's contract negotiation until you see how this season goes. I'll take the horse butthole off the screen. It's making people uncomfortable. It's making me uncomfortable. By the way, today is National Puppy Day. Come here, buddy. Today is National Puppy Day, and this is my dog. This is my dog. I think some of you may have seen him before. He's a great dog. He's not a puppy, though. He looks like a puppy, but he's not a puppy. He looks... his name is Albert, and he gets to be on the show every once in a while because he's adorable. He is a very well-behaved dog, and he's so happy. He's a very happy dog. But yeah, so today's National Puppy Day, and even though he's 3 years old, he still looks like a puppy, so that's why he gets to be on the show today. Yeah. Yep, my wife and I's little fur baby. That's the one thing I never wanted to be. I never wanted to be a ridiculous dog person, but pretty clearly my wife and I have become the ridiculous dog people. Yeah, like that couple on Best in Show. That's basically us. Yeah, minus the braces. All right, there you go. There you go. Fucking awful. It's just pathetic. I'm pathetic. I should not have done that. That was a mistake. Let's see. LaDainian Tomlinson didn't drop. LaDainian Tomlinson, once again, we're talking about Hall of Fame running backs. If you think Zeke Elliott is a potential Hall of Fame running back, that means you think he's going to transcend. He is going to beat the trend of the position. Cameron says this graphic better represents the Cowboys D-line right now. That's funny. Michael says, I think Zeke is already in decline. He's been running into brick walls due to the fact that his QB sucks. I would say, Michael, that he has been running into brick walls because the offensive scheme sucks. I would say in terms of things that suck on the Cowboys, it goes offensive scheme, head coach, ownership, inaction, Dak Prescott, then the defensive line. And maybe I should put the defensive line above Dak Prescott because at least Dak Prescott's showing up to work these days. Daniel says, hey, Bert. He's cute. Carrie, awesome dog. Marlon, I just want to win a Super Bowl. Is this Animal Planet? That's great. That's great, Cam. Good joke. Let's see. Nathaniel, he better be if we used to top 10 pick on him. Michael says, get him a Cowboys collar. Let's go Cowboys. Chris, I believe Jamal Charles still holds the NFL all-time yards per carry record. I think that's correct. Jamal Charles did fall off eventually, but that was only after 2 ACL surgeries. Actually, I think he had 3. I think he had 3 ACL surgeries in his career and then fell off. Basically, after he had to have both of his knees surgically replaced, then Jamal Charles fell off. But prior to that, it was incredible to see what he had done after ACL surgery. And, I think he started to significantly decline around age 29. Jamal Charles, that sounds about right. Should have named your puppy Star. Oh, named him Star instead of Albert. I don't know. I feel like Albert's a good name. Danny, if you look at usage like Zeke is getting, you'll look at comparable players. Arian Foster is a good example. Which Murray are you talking about there, Danny? McCoy, LaShawn McCoy, not Gerald McCoy. LaShawn McCoy, Terrell Davis, etc. Yeah, Terrell Davis obviously had some injury problems, but he was remarkable. And that's why he got, I think at the time, the highest running back contract in NFL history to that point. Chris says, Swag Kelly looked at that statue, and that's how his eyes got crooked. That's funny. That's funny. Kerry says, Zeke had a bad year last year and still led the league last year. If we had a QB who was a threat, he had double the production. He'd have had double the production, perhaps. DeMarco Murray. Yeah, like I wouldn't put DeMarco Murray in the future Hall of Famer category, though. I would put Zeke Elliott in that category, at least to this point, I would. Zeke Elliott's a good running back, and I think you should use him as much as you possibly can if you aren't planning on paying him after this contract that he currently has. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. I want to thank everybody for watching. As always, please subscribe to our channel on Facebook and on YouTube, and of course, also follow us on Twitter. And please share these videos. We really appreciate all the people who make this show possible. Show your support for the show by going to mybookie.lv, entering promo code PHANTOM. Thank you guys as always. Great show. Hope you enjoy your weekend and the rest of March Madness. I'm TJ Carpenter. Later, y'all.